Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be talking about Houston, Texas, y'all. Since y'all know that we are newbies here and we are new faces in Houston. So basically, as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to get to the pros and the cons of living in Houston, Texas. Okay, let's get straight to it. Basically, what I know so far, you guys, about Houston, Texas, we getting into the pros, is that they have awesome, great schools out here. Also, like hospitals and stuff like that. They definitely have a lot of great communities, and I had to ask around, guys. Like, they have a lot of great areas, but every area is not so great. Even in every state, you always have bad areas in every state. It's a lot of bad areas in every state, okay? Just as well as Virginia, because if you guys know me, we are from Virginia. Basically, we are originally from New York, Nassau County. Nassau County, I gotta say that. Basically, we are from Nassau County, New York. We're not from the city area, none of that. Nassau County is one of the best counties, okay? They also have Suffolk County, which is one of the best, but every county has a lot of bad areas in it, but we are from Nassau County. You feel me? Okay, it's not so bad, okay, at all. And we grew up in a big house with my mom, thanks to my mother. She made sure we wasn't in no ghetto area. We started off in one. Don't get me wrong, boo-boo. And when I was little, I remember that I was very little. So my mom wanted to make sure she put us in a good area. My mom brought a big old house for us to stay in. We felt very comfortable. The community was very good. So yeah, so now we're gonna get back into Houston. Okay, since we are newbies, new faces in Houston, Texas, it is, it's certain areas that you should not go to. You should avoid. Like when we first got here, we was in an area which is, zip code is 77006. Baby. No ma'am. No ma'am. So period. But yeah, I consider that as like one of the lowest. And considering that we don't know nothing about Houston, I had to ask around. Even if we go into a Lyft or Ubers, I'm asking people everything, like, which area do you consider the best? So basically, downtown Houston, I would not be considerate of that, because I am not a fan of being in any type of ghetto, nor have we was raised in any type of ghetto, and I am not going to stay in any type of ghetto. So basically, hearing around from a lot of people that I asked, uptown Houston is one of the best. That's near the Galleria. So yeah, pros and the cons. Like I said, the cons is basically, being in downtown Houston. So uptown Houston is where the Galleria is. That's one of the pros. And another pro is they have a lot of great, amazing schools, you know what I'm saying, out here in Houston, but you just got to know where to pick, which I said uptown I heard is really good. I heard Katy is okay. Some people say Dallas as well, which like Fort Worth, but I don't know. We're not from there. Like I said, we came from New York to living in Virginia for about 5 years, and now in Houston, Texas. So basically, the feeling of living here, I'm just going to give you guys my pros and cons. I was not feeling the area we first came in, being in an Airbnb, into an apartment is ready basically for us. So I was definitely not feeling the area of being downtown, because first of all, guys, when we got off of the Greyhound bus, and yes, I said Greyhound because I feel like I'm at flight risk. I get seizures and all like that, and I don't want to be panicking, Even my mom had to ask me, she's like, are you cleared to go on a plane? Because I asked her, I was like, Mom, what's the best flight to take? I was either asking other friends on Instagram, I'm like, what flight or what app do you use to, fly? But at the end of the day, I am extremely scared of flying in the air. I believe anything that's up in the air should not be there, okay? And just like birds, let them birds fly now, let them do their thing. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like no plane should be up in the air. Baby, that is not meant to be, okay? Whoever created a plane, good luck for whoever riding it. I even risked taking a 2-day bus to freaking Houston. So being on the Greyhound bus for 2 days, you guys, we had a crazy, terrible, and I say terrible experience on a Greyhound bus, only because we only was supposed to have 2 transfers. And even that 2 transfers, when I seen after we purchased the tickets and stuff like that, I was like, wait, 2 transfers and we got so many luggages? It's like, make sure you come on the bus with 1 luggage. If you're going to leave stuff behind, leave it behind, sis, if you're taking a Greyhound bus, okay? Because if you got enough money to, you know, start all over, leave everything behind, sis, because, baby, you're going to have to weigh them bags. You got to get them bags weighed and tagged and all of that. I had so many freaking luggages. One big one actually had to get a yellow tag because it was extremely overweight, okay? That was one of the largest suitcases. So basically, on the bus, like I said, 2 transfers, and I'm looking at this thing online the whole time before our trip even came up. It was days before that, and I'm like, 2 transfers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so I gotta take all of this stuff off the bus with my kid and everything. Like, we got so much stuff to take off the bus, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this with a child and stuff like that, and taking a whole bunch of luggages. We even had a child pushing his own luggage, and he was struggling, baby, because we packed a lot of clothes in them luggages, okay? So basically, you know, with those transfers, guys, it was crazy only because, another thing, we had to stop, like, I don't even know how many times, I can't even count offhand. It had to been at least like 8 times, okay, 8 or 9 times. We had to stop at a whole bunch of stations. Mainly the most stops was we had to stop for like 20-30 minutes just to pick someone up and to wait. So the driver, you know, it's understandable. They need to take breaks too because they're driving mad miles, and then they switch. You know what I'm saying? Because they get tired too. Ain't nobody trying to crash, because when we first came into the Greyhound, you guys, going back, we noticed in the Greyhound bus, it was so crashed in, and they had them in the back of the Greyhound. We had to go from, it's in Virginia. We had to go, because we're from Williamsburg. So we had to go to freaking, what is it called? Richmond, Virginia, to, you know, get on a Greyhound bus. That's where it's at, right across from the stadium, which is crazy because soon when we drove around to get inside of the Greyhound parking lot, it was some crash buses. In my mind, y'all know what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can get my money back. I better make, I don't know. But period, y'all. So basically all them stops that we had to take, we had to get off of the bus most times. Y'all hear my son in the background, but we had to get off the bus mad times just to stay inside of another bus station. And, you know, we are considered as being a reboarder, basically. So if you know the Greyhound buses and how they work, when you're reboarding, especially if you're going far, because we had to drive for 2 days straight, baby. And it's supposed to be only like 20 hours away from Virginia. And it took us 2 days and more. Plus, you feel me? 2 days plus. So it's like, it was crazy because we had to take so many freaking stops, reboarding. We had to get tickets to reboard. We had to go to the counter to reboard. And it was crazy because we had to stay in them senses for like an hour to an hour and a half. And I'm like, wait, if y'all should have mentioned this before we even took them or brought them tickets, because them transfers seem like so crazy. Because it was like, I'm sitting here, we're sitting here with our child and stuff, and it's like, with a bag. Sometimes we had to take the bags off, that was the transfer, but sometimes you could keep the bags on the bus, and they have to, you know, recharge the bus, shut it down, you know, let the bus get a little bit air, cool down, cool off, and then another driver comes on the bus. Or before that, like going back, a driver go and get more gas, and you know, and drivers have to take multiple stops just to, you know, take a break, grab a coffee, grab a drink, whatever they gotta do, use the bathroom, and you know, and then they tell people y'all could take a break. Most people go outside and take a smoke break and come back in and smell like hella cigarettes. Baby, I don't want to smell that. Okay, I got a child, they walking past us on the bus, we still sitting on the bus. Sometimes you could sit on the bus if you don't want to take a break, you stay on the bus. Sometimes they tell you to get off of the bus. Baby, I'm like looking like I gotta wake my child up now. I've been falling asleep, nodding all out and stuff, and then the driver be hitting the brakes like, because it's a lot of cars in front that be just tripping. And then it's a lot of whole bunch of freaking big trucks. Y'all know the little trucks, I don't even know what they call, but if y'all know, y'all know. The trucks that carry them big old trailer things on the back, basically. They stop multiple times. The driver actually, I don't know if he dozed off, because I seen him blink his eyes, yarning, and then the stops was crazy. And y'all know that when you on the road, if you drive, you feel me, or if you ever been in a cab or anything, I know how it is because I drive too. But at this time I'm not able to drive because my neurologist told me not to drive because I get seizures. So basically I'm not clear yet to actually drive anymore, or swim by myself, or take a bath by myself. But at the end of the day, it's like when you drive and you go on the shoulder, like when you kind of on the shoulder or whatever, or on the, if you on the left shoulder or the right shoulder, and then this thing go, that means because you know you're falling out of the line, basically. And it has that sound that's stuttering your car, like, wake the hell up. Like, open your window, get some air, do something, you know, let that cool breeze come through while you're flying. So yeah, basically it was kind of like that. I was getting scared every second, and then I kept falling asleep. I had like, it's not like I wanted to fall asleep, I was trying to keep my eyes open, but then for the long ride, you know, it's like you have no choice. It's not like, I mean, I had no choice. Basically it's like you just fall asleep because the ride is so long, and then when you think you're done stopping, you're not done. But basically, to make a long story short, getting to Houston at the the Greyhound bus in Houston, y'all, was crazy. I thought New York was crazy because that's where I'm from, but I said Nassau County, not from New York. New York, where all the graffiti and all that extra stuff is at. No, baby, no projects, none of that. Okay, but anywho, in New York itself, when you coming off of, because you know we traveled to New York before because we like seeing the pretty lights and all that extra stuff. Okay. You know, sometimes they always got some action going on in New York. If you haven't been to New York, go ahead to the city, go travel, go check it out. And a lot of people out here be like, oh, New York is crazy, it's a lot of shootings, it's a lot of bad things going on. Yes, it is. But a lot of people comparing cities and states to states. Like, baby, let's go way back, because first off, I had a couple of people that I used to hang out with. They be like, oh, Virginia is worse. Virginia is worse. No, the hell it ain't, mama. Okay, honey? First off, they have a lot of stuff going on in New York City, which will blow your mind, okay? If you haven't known about New York, okay? And in Virginia, yes, they have a lot of crimes there too. Like I'm saying, I am not comparing nothing to nothing. First off, so basically it's crimes all over the place. Stop comparing. And it's like you want to feel like your state is the worst, like yeah, rah rah rah, oh, like you scaring somebody that just coming here. You don't scare me because I know how we are on that side, and I could peep what y'all are on this side, okay? Because I've been here for, you know, I've been here for long enough. So it's like, you know, it's bad areas everywhere. I'm not trying to hear what you're saying. You do not scare me. nor do you offend me in any type of way. It's like, if you want to rep being in a bad state or city, blah blah blah, go ahead and rep that, boo, okay? Because I know where I'm from, it's bad too. You feel me? And like I'm saying about Texas, another con of living in Houston, Texas, baby, they kind of have the worst crimes. Okay, when you think from New York to Virginia and a lot of other states, from what I hear on the news and what I research, you know what I'm saying, Houston, Texas have basically the most crimes, and mostly the crimes are basically based upon property damaging and stuff like that. So now I wonder why a lot of properties and communities have a lot of gates around it, because it's a lot of property damage that's going on with the crimes and stuff like that. FBI's, with the whole situation like that. If you guys go look it up and stuff like that about the FBI's that's in certain areas of Houston, which is kind of good, and some areas is kind of more bad because of that. So you guys, basically I'm not going to be sitting here and repping somewhere that's really bad, because I know that where I come from, it is bad in a lot of certain areas, but I am not from those areas. I may have been when I was a little baby child, but I wasn't raised in one, basically. So for the people that be like, oh, Virginia is very bad. Oh, it's worse than New York, baby. First off, like I said, every state has its bad areas. Some has way more than others, but Virginia, you cannot compare New York to Virginia. They both is kind of the same, basically, but Virginia does have a lot of different type of crime rates, okay? Both of them are kind of similar, but I feel like New York has kind of the most crime rates that's in the city area. Even Brooklyn, the Bronx, all of that, okay? If you ever been there. Because I have people that come from Virginia, go to Brooklyn, which is extremely ghetto, and go to the Bronx, and you don't see them come back. They go stay straight into where they're from. Okay, so basically, for me, it's no comparison, because who wants to rep a bad state? I'm not repping it. I dang sure ain't, because that's not what I want to do. I'm a proper person. I'm not going to be, you know, telling people like, oh, being rowdy. I'm not a rowdy person. I could be a little ghetto in my videos, be like, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. And it's entertainment, first off. If you guys see me in real reality, yes, I am kind of the same. I just put on a little extra for you guys, just to entertain the video even more. But at the end of the day, I do say period, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. Don't mean I am ghetto. I am very type, you know, religious. Basically, my mother is married to a pastor. That don't make me very humbly. But at the end of the day, you know, I do, you know, say cuss words sometimes once in a while. But at the end of the day, that don't make me perfect or anything. My mama is very religious. My grandma is very religious. But at the end of the day, I do have faith in God, and I know who he is, and I know from, you know, praying every single night, even if my prayers don't be answered the same night, of course, you have to wait, you know what I'm saying? Prayers, you know, you gotta wait. So I'm just gonna get on to what it feels like living in Houston, Texas, now. So I love the vibe of being in Houston, Texas. This is like, we haven't been here for that long, but my son is crashing cars into the door purposely. But okay. We haven't been here for that long, but there is a lot of great areas, and we haven't experienced much areas yet, but we definitely experienced the bad ones. Like I was getting on to the Greyhound bus, and sorry you guys, I kind of passed that because, you know, I wanted to go back into the bus ride and stuff like that, and where I'm from, and, you know, comparing state to state, basically, from the experience I heard from other people, and So now, moving forward, we love being in Houston, Texas and stuff like that. They have a lot of palm trees, which I love. I never seen a real palm tree in person, and I love it. It's pretty cool. Like I said, you have to be in a good area. You have to know the area. You have to fill out the area and then, you know, move from there. So basically, you know, now it's like we kind of understand, and when you ask around, I'm not saying ask anybody and everybody, because like I said, it's a lot of kidnappings going on. It's a lot of human trafficking with women, prostitutes, even gay community people. There's a lot of human trafficking going around. I want each and every one of y'all to be safe out here, be safe out there, anywhere, because we're close to Mexico, period, and Nigeria. Y'all know that them countries and stuff and states, you know, it's a lot of human trafficking going around. So what I do when I go outside, or if I have to go outside at night, if I have to, I am holding tightly to my child's hand, his arm, holding him in front of me, holding his arm, like, you feel me, close. And at the end of the day, I got my pepper spray on me. It's like that I got a pepper spray and a taser. And sometimes y'all going to need a Glock. Okay, yes, I said a Glock. You're gonna need a Glock, period, because a Glock is legal in Virginia. Okay, in certain areas, you know, you gotta have a license. In Virginia, no, you don't. But I don't know if they changed it or not. But baby, it might be that way out here. That's just some of the pros and cons. I do not know about if that is. I haven't looked it up or anything like that. But yeah, I do have a taser. I have pepper spray. Let's call it mace, baby, because that is very strong. Okay, I actually cleared a whole club out one day with with mace. Okay, with mace. I cleared a whole club out. Everybody in that whole big, large club was coughing because this girl tried to attack me and one of my friends. That's another story time I'm gonna give you guys one day. Me and one of my best friends went to a club, and most of you guys know that's been watching me, I used to be a dancer since I was 19 years old. I used to, you know, be an entertainer, a dancer, a stripper, blah, 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 fully nude, whatever you guys want to call it. Yeah, I was all of that. So like I said, that's going to be another story time for next time. And yeah, so basically that's kind of like the pros and cons from what I know so far and what I know from being in Houston, Texas. If I forget something, you know, we can always do another video. So basically, yeah, I do know that one of the cons as well is a lot of places that's a good area, their homes are not really that great. And I noticed that a lot of apartments and houses in Houston have a whole bunch of bumpy ceilings and bumpy walls that's, you know, painted over. It's like super bumpy. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to straight walls, but that's one of the things that I hear about a lot of people that live in Houston. They're like, the walls are so bumpy and it has a whole bunch of bumps and lumps on it, like painted over. And yeah, that's a little awkward. It's a little weird, but even my son was like, Mom, why does the walls look like it got monkeypox or the chicken pox? I'm like, boy, go back. I'm like, good night. So you guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys share this video with each and every person that you know. Make sure you guys share this video with your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, and your grandma. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.